Hey friends, good morning. I hope you're well wherever you are. My name is Tori if you're new here, and today I just wanted to take you through some of the meals of the week, some of the ways that we save money, and I wanted to show you all of that all in one video. So here we are starting strong. We went and collected eggs from our chickens and we're saving our bacon grease. So I just strain out the bad stuff, I guess the burnt ends, and then I keep it for cooking. And I learned that from my dad. Makes a really flavorful broth. And this is another way that we talk about on the channel all the time, and that's like a leftover makeover in soup form. I just put all the things that are about to go bad into the crock pot and we make it into a stew. But I did want to go back to the chickens. A lot of people say you save money if you have your own chickens. That's not necessarily true. It depends on the feed, how many you have, what breeds you have, what type of birds you have, the enclosures. I mean, there's so many things under the sun that can make this cost effective, but we have chickens because I like knowing where my eggs come from. I know that I fed them what have you, and they went out and foraged, and it gives me peace of mind, and they're enjoyable to have. You know how much I love my birds, and I really do just love having them, and the kids have learned such a sense of responsibility with them being here. So I do enjoy them. It's not a way I save money, but it is something that I can control when it comes to our food source. So in this stew today, I may have some people calling my name in the background here. I do have some frozen corn. You know, I worked hard over the summer to get corn at a discounted price, but the catch was I wanted organic and non-GMO. It's hard to come by, but I found it. So my goal was to save 52 ears of corn and put it in the freezer. We personally don't like canned corn, so I only did a few jars when it comes to home canning of my corn relish, and that is another way that we save money. I love to home can, but you have to make that investment with whatever you're going to use. So if you're doing water bath canning, that's relatively low maintenance, but you still need the jars. So that would be an investment to get glass, and I would suggest doing that. It's a way to preserve food and it's easy to do. So home canning, that's an awesome one for us. And then saving things in the season that they're in. So corn at the peak of the season is absolutely delicious. And then another way we saved money this week was swapping out something that my son wanted, which you kind of saw his face there. He really wanted Cheez-It crackers, which someone had at lunch. Has my son ever had Cheez-Its? I'm sure somewhere along the line he has had Cheez-Its, but we don't actively buy them just because it's a snack that would be gone in a second. They're designed to keep you kind of addicted and keep you just buying more, and it adds up. So I was showing him how to make it here. We have cheddar cheese, we have flour, baking powder, salt, and then cold butter. I put it in my food processor and then I roll it out. We have done this before and he loves to poke the holes, so that is his official job. I always get questions about that. Do your kids help in the kitchen? If you're new to the channel, they love to help. But also, I'm a mom of four. I like to get things done pretty quickly, so they're not doing absolutely everything, but I am in the season where I'm trying not to rush through things. So maybe next batch he can help with the rest of it, but he did poke the holes and we made our own homemade Cheez-Its. My husband said they were delicious. These were devoured relatively quickly, but they are so easy to make and so quick. So I don't mind making them almost every other day, and a block of standard cheddar cheese is very inexpensive for us. So I baked this at 375 until the desired consistency. Honestly, it was maybe 17 minutes. I like them a little bit more brown, so here we are doing that. And when it comes to prepackaged snacks, we do buy them from time to time. I only buy them on sale, and I really don't mind the Annie's brand. If they're using any sort of like seed oil, they're using a high oleic version of that, and I think it's okay to have from time to time. That may be a controversial opinion, but I'm feeding my family. I tend to not go for like the Nabisco snacks or anything like that, but my husband does love prepackaged snacks like that. He likes processed foods, and we're trying to get better with that. He's in law enforcement, and we want him to live a very long time, obviously. So it's very important to us to keep health at the front runner for all of us. Okay, now we're making ranch. So I have the ranch dip and dressing mix, and that doesn't have any MSG in it, which is really what I'm looking for. Still has some stuff in it. And I can make my own ranch dip, but trying to use this up, she's okay. We have lemon juice, but you could use pickle juice. We have a little bit of mayo, a little bit of sour cream, and then I can use milk to thin it out, or you could use buttermilk, but this is what I'm doing. And of course, I'll leave the recipes to these in the description box, but I'm gonna try and go for the cup line here. It's just half and half. Half and half lemon juice, and then this, and maybe some salt to taste, depending. And then here's just an overview of what we made. This is the ranch dressing. It would be great with Greek yogurt. I just chose to use my Greek yogurt for something else, like I was saying. And the kids really love it with cucumbers, honestly anything. They put it on sandwiches, fun things like that. And then we also have the cheese crackers, of course. I just keep everything in glass dishes depending on what it is. I have a duck in the background now. And these are 2-bite brownies. I tried to health it up a bit with some Greek yogurt, but it's not perfect. And then this is the stew. I just like to serve it with crusty bread and go from there. Everyone enjoys it, and I'm a leftover queen. I love leftovers. I can eat them until they go bad, which sounds terrible, and it's not very good for you. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I love my leftovers, especially soups. I'm a soup girl. So here's everything all put together. This will get us by for a few days to just grab and go for snacks. And then I did get questions on the ham and bean soup from 2 videos back, and this is it. I just put ham and beans, onion and pepper in a crock pot with a ton of water, and then we go low and slow. No, we go high and slow for 10 hours just so those beans break down, but they're delicious. Another way I saved money this week is to bulk up my eggs. I bulked it up with some potatoes, and that's a little trick of mine when we're running low on eggs. So I did 4 eggs for us, some potatoes, and called it a day, and that was the end of the ham and bean soup. Another way I saved money this week was to buy my coffee, make my coffee at home, which I generally do. This is an easy swap for most of us, but I wanted to make my husband a mocha cold brew, and that's what I'm doing here. So there's heavy whipping cream, some cocoa powder, some powdered sugar, and then just a dash of vanilla, and then I just whip it up here until I see some froth, and I put it in our cold brew that we got from Sharp Shopper for 99 cents, and then it was 2 for $1, the Black Rifle. I have found these at Walmart for $9.99, and we think it's wild. It's not the best tasting coffee. Yes, you can make your own cold brew at home, but we just grabbed this in a pinch, and we really enjoyed it. So they also have a vanilla kind as well. And then last but not least is this chicken pot pie. And this leads me to talk about something that I've been seeing. I've been seeing everywhere, like, make a struggle meal with me, or here are my top hacks for struggle meals. And I didn't know that term existed until just about now. Maybe it is the way I was raised, and it led me to this realization after being here for like 7 years on this channel, sharing budget recipes. But I grew up with these meals, and we didn't call them struggle meals. So a lot of people ask where these meals come from. They come from my childhood. My dad loved to cook, and he cooked on the cheap. He learned from his parents, whom I assume learned from their parents. And I feel like that's what's important. Obviously, feeding your family, knowing the ingredients, but also the table. I recently got to meet Ruth Ann Zimmerman, and I love her book. It's all about the family table and how important it is for everybody to be there and just showing love and having that family time together. So I wouldn't call these struggle meals. They are meals to feed my family. They're meals made with love, and whether they're on the cheap or not, I think that's so important to instill that sense of community into yourself and your family. So I'm going to call it a day on the video. I hope this inspired you to shop and cook on the cheap, and we're going to catch you next time. As always, stay adventurous, stay creative. Bye, y'all.
fight the darkness till break of day. The heart and the past changes so fast, like a chameleon. Red ones and blue skies, what did we know? We were so very young. Falling clover, look what you've got. Changing colors more often than not.